All right, let's have a serious talk. Humans are meant to get better. Technology is meant to get better. Nature, the way the world works, is meant to get more efficient and become more valuable. I do believe this. I am definitely not a pessimist. I am an optimistic person, and I do believe that we evolve as a human species. Now, I titled this video very specific for a reason. We are taking a quantum leap in mankind. I do believe this is true. And I want to right here just briefly define what a quantum jump is. It's an abrupt transition of a quantum system. It could be anything in nature, from one quantum state to another, from one energy level to another. When a system loses energy, this is the transition to a lower energy level. The point I'm trying to make here is I want you to imagine a situation where we have omni-channel accounts. So what I basically means, what I'm trying to explain here is this transition from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. So as you look at the graphics here, we have, these regular Google accounts. You put in your name, you put in your last name, you put in your phone number and your email address. And then we have a Web 3.0 account, which is like similar to your MetaMask. A lot of you know what this is. Okay. Web 2.0 confirms identity through email. All the data is owned by a centralized entity. You have to re-enter your information every single time, right? You have to keep up with all your accounts, annoying tracking like cookies that know your personal identity. I know you guys experienced something where you're having a conversation with your friend about some nutritional supplement, and then you're getting ads, right, ran to you about that nutritional supplement. You have to have multiple passwords, and there's all these vulnerabilities to hacks and things like that. But this quantum leap to Web 3.0 is going to look a little bit different. So I want you to, imagine an omni-channel. So what that basically means, omni is like present in multiple places, similar to what you see in your MetaMask, right? You own all the data. It's in one, place with one password, one private key, right? It gives you more privacy because you allow the platform that's connecting to control specific data, but they don't have to know your identity, right? One password, it's permissionless. Anyone on planet Earth, no matter the restrictions, can use this, wallet, right? Two-click integration is so much more convenient. You could just literally log into any account or any software on planet Earth with literally 2 clicks. Imagine a reality like that where you don't have to type in all of your personal information. And it's basically the future of mankind. It makes things more efficient, more permissionless, right? Where more people can use it on planet Earth. And also, of course, it holds value the way it's supposed to be. And this is what cryptocurrency is doing. And this is what I believe is going to happen in the future. But recent events have kind of highlighted specifically that this quantum leap can happen sooner than expected. Okay, so I do want to go over kind of an Ethereum price prediction, but not really when it comes to price, but more of just a prediction in general and how it's pretty much taking over Bitcoin. The question is, when it's going to take over Bitcoin, not if it's going to take over Bitcoin at this point. So let's jump right into it. Keep watching. Now, the reason why this information is really important, we're looking at the ETH versus BTC chart, is, to be honest with you, I'm not trying to get left behind, okay? I want to be a part of the super cycle if there is a super cycle, but a lot of my thoughts have been coming from previous, cycles in 2017, 2018. And so I want to isolate. I want to take the differences from 2017 and look at them now. And I'm going to be backing this up in a 360 perspective. We're going to be looking at sentiment. We're going to be looking at on-chain. We're going to be looking at price, okay? We're going to be looking at it from different variables. And I'm going to make the case that Ethereum is going to push mankind into a significant quantum leap that we have never experienced before. It's going to be significant. So if we look at Ethereum versus BTC, you could see that Ethereum kind of took the show in recent history. And this is us looking at specifically price, right? So, Ethereum has been outcompeting Bitcoin. And this kind of highlights what I was saying, where people are really kind of just more interested in the smart contract capability of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is a superior form of money, but what can you do with that money is the big question and the bigger industry, in my personal opinion. So you could see that Ethereum has been taking the show. Now, Bitcoin, okay, obviously in recent history, I've been highlighting this big pump that we recently had, this large candlestick on Bitcoin's price. it's kind of jumping up in price. But if you look at what's going on, while Bitcoin was dumping, Ethereum was doing slightly better, right? You can literally see it right here. Ethereum was kind of up 10% against Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin had this pop, and then obviously, you see that Ethereum was lagging behind that. But what I want to point out is this recent pump, right? That literally happened yesterday, right? I made videos about this already, but this recent pump, there was one specific coin that did very well. And I know you could just look at certain things. Oh, it pumped. I'm going to buy meme coins. You could look at it from a very low latency level, low quality level. Let's buy altcoins, right? But then you could look at it as an indicator, right? So Shiba Inu popped up in the same time period while Bitcoin was pumping. It popped up 50%. I think even more than that. 57%. And it leaded the whole entire market. Why are meme coins leading the market when the whole market's dropping in value? Typically, in other cycles, when the market drops, Bitcoin does well and pretty much nothing else. Altcoins all bleed out to Bitcoin, and people typically consolidate to Bitcoin to save percentages of their portfolio and to kind of put their money in a long-term store of wealth. So the question is, like, literally, seriously, why is Shiba Inu jumping in price right now? I want to answer that, and I think it's because of a couple of things. It's a narrative fight, right? I want you to think about Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum wants to pass Bitcoin. They don't want to be tied down to Bitcoin's 4-year cycles. Ethereum wants to just go up forever like a Tesla stock or, an Apple stock. They want to take the show, and they want people to start using it more than anything else. So while the market's dumping, they want to, use the biggest narratives, which, by the way, the meme coin narrative is bigger than NFTs, and I could show you proof of that. But I don't know if they did it on purpose, but Shiba Inu pumped up 50%, and we have a couple pieces of news like Polygon raises $450 million by Sequoia Capital. That's huge. And if you guys don't know the similarity between Polygon and Shiba Inu, well, Vitalik Buterin. It was gifted half of the Shiba Inu supply. And if you look at Shiba Inu's price, Shiba Inu dumped when he gave a big donation to Polygon. He gave a huge donation to Polygon, selling some Shiba Inu tokens. And so they definitely have a correlation. They are working together in some way or shape or form. It's not Shiba Inu that's doing it. It's the Ethereum Foundation and Polygon are clearly trying to push this second narrative, which is the smart contracts, right? So pay attention. Polygon pumps and Shiba Inu pumps literally on this very big pivotal make or break moment right here that we had at 37K, this big pump that everybody was making fun of me or whatever. Because I predicted we were going to continue to go down. And Bitcoin jumps and, they almost like try to capitalize Ethereum Foundation, whatever it is, almost try to capitalize, on this by showing people, hey, Shiba Inu's on the top of the list and stealing the show and stealing the narrative. It wasn't about Bitcoin. It was about Shiba Inu pumping 50%, right? They want to stay in more people's minds for a long period of time, right? Another point I want to make is they're definitely attacking, right? Whoever is a part of the Ethereum gang is definitely attacking Bitcoin. But you could see that smart money, for example, on Nansen, there's two conclusions you can draw. Number one, they're all using Ethereum. As you can see, CUSDC, CUSDT, USDC, they're all, using ETH products, right? The smart money on Nansen. But number two, also, they're selling right now. Because they think probably the market's going to come to a standstill or something. It's just higher risk right now, right? So I do want to point that out very briefly, but this is like the significant data here. So first point I want to make, it's very, very interesting. So we see, what we're looking at here is the balance on exchanges, on all cryptocurrency exchanges. And this is for Ethereum specifically. So we see this big pump here, and this is artificial. Clearly, there was something here. And I think it was because, they're getting more people involved with Ethereum. They're giving more ETH to exchanges so that there's some liquidity depth on the Ethereum exchanges so that people, retail can buy. But literally at the exact top, when Ethereum got to about $1,000, you could see that the amount of ETH that were came back on the exchanges, as you can see right here. So again, if the market runs up, Ethereum's price goes up significantly, right? You see that right there. And all of the Ethereum starts leaving exchanges at the same time. The Ethereum starts leaving exchanges, whether it's to buy ICOs or get into DeFi. People use Ethereum. So there's a direct correlation towards people taking off the exchange and using it for certain things, right? So you can see, again, Ethereum leaving the exchanges, price going crazy. And as soon as we bottom out here and Ethereum starts coming back on the exchanges, you see the market was ended. Okay. And the same thing's happening now, right? We see more Ethereum coming on the exchanges, and then we see the pump, and this was likely catalyzed by Bitcoin, not Ethereum itself. And then, once we're midway through market or a little bit less than that, then, the second narrative kicks into place, right? So in this case right here, we have Bitcoin moving the market, starting the market with, it's halving that they always do, right? Which you guys should know about. And I'll talk a little bit more about it. But it kind of started the market, and then Ethereum coming into play, all the ETH leaving exchanges, it kind of ending the market. And we're coming up to this big point here where it looks like we're coming to a bottoming. Okay. So for people, in the market, just adding to what I've been saying in video after video, there's on-chain metrics that show that the market could come to an end relatively soon. But the quantum leap that I'm talking about is if Ethereum can somehow take the show and people start adopting Ethereum and some more of that ETH coming off the exchanges. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So we're looking here at the Bitcoin transaction count, and we're looking at the Ethereum transaction account. The ETH is green. So the first cycle was right around here, 2017, 2018. We could see them both peak. Bitcoin peaked first in transactions, and then Ethereum peaked in transactions. And then you can see that through the bear run, Ethereum was doing better and had more transactions, and it was stayed above it, more consistent, as you can see right here. And there was even this kind of separation as well. Then Bitcoin came and stole the show over here, right? And Bitcoin pumped up and started stealing transactions, and then Ethereum follows, just like we always talk about, right? And then at one point around here, which was basically the beginning of the altcoin season, we have a huge push towards Ethereum transaction, and the separation is getting monumental. The separation is getting monumental. So if we play it out the same way we should with, the regular cycle over here in 2017, then we should see Ethereum transactions fall, altcoins die, right? And the market go into a full-on bear market. And then, we'll have this kind of inverse effect of Ethereum fighting Bitcoin, et cetera, et cetera. But the case I'm trying to make is that Ethereum's demand might just continue the market forever. We might have this quantum leap, super cycle, whatever you want to call it. It might just keep pushing the price of Bitcoin. It might, Bitcoin might be catalyzed by Ethereum now instead of Ethereum just being catalyzed by Bitcoin, if that makes sense. Very interesting stuff. And this is where we can get very deep. Now, I want to talk about this ratio, and I want to explain this chart. So take your time, run this video back if you have to. This is probably one of the most important parts of the video, so pay attention to what's going on, take some notes. So what we're looking at here is Bitcoin's price, which is the orange-red. We're looking at Bitcoin NVT, and then we're looking at Ethereum NVT. So let me explain what NVT means. So as you can see here, NVT ratio equals the market cap divided by transaction volume. So when this chart goes up, that means the market cap is increasing more proportional to the transaction volume. And then when this goes down, that means the transaction volume is increasing more than the market cap itself. And the whole point of it is that transaction volume is looked at as a way of like real value. If people are actually using stuff and they're transacting consistently, they're actually using it, and that's real value. And then the market cap just increasing without the transactions increase. So if the transactions stay the same and then the market increases, that means that it's getting overinflated or hyped up. It's hyped up because the value of the coin's increasing for no reason, not because of some type of utilization or something like that, right? So this is super interesting because if I lay out the BTC NVT and the ETH NVT on a Bitcoin chart, you can start seeing some very interesting evidence. So first thing I want to point out is that we had this significant spike here, and we're looking at 2020 and 2021. So this is the recent history of Bitcoin's price. But we have the significant run up where we see the market cap beating the transactions on both cases for ETH and BTC. You see it right here. And BTC was clearly more significant. So again, aligning with our theory that Bitcoin starts the market, right? Bitcoin kind of started the market. Look at the NVT. The hype for Bitcoin was way higher. And then we had kind of this topping out, and then you see the NVT dropping. So right here is when all of the transactions at this point, the green and the yellow line, from this point to the top, we see that both of them are kind of downward slash sideways. We have a consolidation point here, but they're both downward. So again, a low NVT ratio or a downtrend indicates that investors are pricing Bitcoin at a discount. So in this case, it's dropping because more utilization, right? There's more utilization. Okay. You see the price increased as well. So it's not necessarily the price or the hype increasing. More people are using Bitcoin and Ethereum this whole time period, right? From here to here, people are using Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's why you see that ratio dropping, right? Again, downtrend indicates that they're pricing Bitcoin at a discount. The reason why it's at a discount is because the value derived from the transactions are higher than the market cap increasing. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? And in this case, the high NVT ratio or the uptrend indicates that there's a lot of hype and not that many transactions, right? So very interesting. But we have a consolidation point here where we're kind of sideways and uncertain, right? And you can see it right here. It's all the way down, meaning a low NVT ratio, meaning there's a lot of transactions happening, but it's consolidating sideways, and people are not certain if they, it should run this up with the price or not, whether it's the whales or the people themselves. I know this can get confusing, but just take a second to understand because it's going to all start to make sense. If we come over here, you can see that all of them spiked. They all spiked, right? So this was like another hype cycle. This is where the market cap was increasing more than transactions, and it got up to this point here, which is very similar to here. Very similar to here. So they all got hyped up, and then they got kind of put in their place and they're like, okay, transactions need to take over, right? So hyped up, and we are seeing the same effect here, right? We see the second cycle, but the transactions, the amount of transactions that are happening were increasing proportional to, the actual market cap itself. So the value is derived here, and then we have this reversal of all three again, similar to what we see here, okay? But the crazy part is, I want you to see this one part here. Bitcoin, while it was consolidating sideways, Bitcoin, looked like it was like a fair value and it was uncertain. Ethereum still had a whole bunch of transactions. People were still using ETH, even though there was a downtrend, adding to my case where Ethereum is becoming much stronger. It's becoming much stronger. A couple of things. We have this bounce. So we could have like a nice little, last leg rally that, I've been talking about. Again, guys, that I've always been bullish. I just wanted to see Bitcoin come to 30K before I flip bull again. So you guys know I've been always right about that. I do think there's going to be a last leg to the cycle. It just depended on when. So it looks like we're probably going to have that last leg soon. Okay, because we're getting this big spike up, but Ethereum is holding up much more than Bitcoin at this time. And it makes sense because, again, if I bring it back over here, the transaction volume on Ethereum is much higher than Bitcoin. Look at that transaction volume, significant. So it looks like Ethereum's kind of stealing the show. And it showed resilience and last cycle. It's just much more significant now. So it's very, very interesting. And this is for obviously a lot of reasons. But yeah, one of them being, the Ethereum burn rate and EIP 1559. Another one is, Ethereum settling so much transaction volume, because of NFTs. For example, if we look at it, like just the biggest collections in all of the NFT world, Bored Ape Yacht Club is settled in ETH. CryptoPunks settled in ETH. Art Blocks settled in ETH. Doodles, I believe, is settled in ETH. Cool Cat settled in ETH. Cyberkong settled in ETH. Sandbox and Decentraland are the only ones that have their own blockchain. Every single other NFT with significant value is settled in ETH. Okay, guys, it's super important. And then also bringing it here, we see the ETH searches, right? So we see the other narrative, which is crypto, NFT, Shiba Inu, these type of searches that, when people search crypto, they're thinking of like not specifically Ethereum, but they're thinking of the smart contracts in general, right? The uses of smart contracts. When people search NFTs, they're obviously thinking of Ethereum and Shiba Inu for the same reason, these meme coins, right? So you can see that the amount of searches are looking like they're going to pass Bitcoin eventually. But adding to the case, I'm always saying. So let me just look into a brief price prediction, and this is going to get really deep, guys. So pay attention to what's going on here. So I want to talk about Bitcoin and this logarithmic regression because we kind of been playing at the top here, right? So if you guys look at Bitcoin logarithmic regression, this is basically a good prediction model to show where Bitcoin could potentially go. We came up to this red here, but didn't really get all the way through. Then we got to the top of the red, and now we've been fighting this red and coming up and down sideways or whatever the case is. And it looks like Bitcoin's very uncertain. And, if we play out the markets how happened before, we should definitely see Bitcoin's price just dump and go into a full-on bear market, all the way till we get to this green zone again, and then the market reverses if we see how last cycles have been. But with Ethereum, I want you to notice something, because at the exact top here in December, January, we could see that Ethereum dominance was increasing, adding to what we're saying. Again, Ethereum narrative happens after the Bitcoin bull run. So Bitcoin has to move, and then Ethereum comes next. So you see the dominance around this time frame. Ethereum was literally at what, 22, 23% dominance. So it didn't like get close to flipping Bitcoin, but it was at 22, 23%. And look where we're at now. We're in the 20s, 18.84 right now, but we even got up to 21% at one point. So Ethereum is clearly just taking more dominance. And the question is it going to reverse and drop back down, and Bitcoin going to steal the show? Because if Bitcoin steals the show and Ethereum loses dominance to Bitcoin, then yeah, we're going into a bear run, guys. Because Bitcoin doesn't have another halving cycle until like I believe 2024. It's 2 years from the halving cycle. So if the Bitcoin narrative steals the show, we're done. We go into a bear run, right? But if Ethereum starts getting more adoption and there's more demand for Ethereum, then we can get that quantum leap I'm talking about, where Bitcoin's not as relevant anymore, and this just continues to go up. Super interesting stuff. Way different from what we've seen before. But yeah, again, if I just kind of bring it back over here, you can see when Bitcoin topped out, or this is Ethereum, sorry. You can see when Ethereum topped out right here, we have the big dominance. And Ethereum looks like it's coming up to the top here. It just looks like it's definitely, close to the top, and we have a pretty big dominance right now. Again, this dominance needs to break out. I think when I see the dominance break above 25%, I'll turn into an ultra bull, forever bull, and forget about Bitcoin cycles. But yeah, we're playing in that area right now. So this is definitely a make or break moment for the quantum leap. And then I do want to show you again, we could make this run up here. And this is ETH versus BTC. So when this chart goes up, Ethereum is doing better than Bitcoin. When this chart goes down, Bitcoin is doing better than Ethereum. If we make this run up, then again, this is adding to our case where Ethereum might get more dominance, right? So it might get more dominance. And it looks like we bounced here and we're making our way up. If Ethereum gets that dominance, guys, if NFTs steal the show, if DeFi steals the show, if, metaverse, whatever has to do with smart contracts become a bigger demand factor than Bitcoin's scarcity element, then I would say we are going to be in a forever cycle, and we will probably, there will be little bear markets, but it won't be as significant as the 4-year cycles of Bitcoin. And I do want to point out this one last thing. Somebody created a highly speculative Ethereum logarithmic regression curve. And according to this, we should be getting up to about, in 2022, we should be getting up to about maybe a $20,000 Ethereum. So, there's a lot of data pointing to Ethereum is going to probably continue to grow with the Ethereum burn. And then, of course, the biggest event of all, which is the Ethereum Merge. By the way, guys, it's happening very soon. The Ethereum Merge is going to happen right here, Q2 2022. So they're lining it up, y'all. They're lining it up. They're putting it at the exact moment. It just really depends on if they could pull it off or not. So you guys know we have the EIP 1559 that you could look up for yourself. I've made videos on this. But yeah, when the merge actually happens and we move over to proof of stake, people can stake their cryptocurrency instead of the miners taking all the fees, and people are locking up their crypto, for long term. This can have a big scarcity element, even bigger scarcity element than, Bitcoin in some cases. And we might have that forever super cycle because Ethereum can now scale and give you the cheap transaction fees with the liquidity and have all the benefits of, having the developers and liquidity with the same, transaction speeds, and the costs are low, right? So we can get literally all of these benefits. If Ethereum 2.0 can come out, steal the show in Q2 2022, I am predicting if they could do it, and they actually do the merge. If they actually do the merge, Ethereum will probably, by demand side, start to beat Bitcoin, and there will be a forever cycle. And I think Bitcoin will be catalyzed by Ethereum, and they will work back and forth instead of Bitcoin just kind of leading everything. But yeah, we've never had a better chance in our life. to see this happen, where people are taking this narrative of, smart contracts and, using decentralized finance and using Web 3.0, and us actually integrating into the next generation of the internet is probably going to happen in Q2 2022, which is absolutely crazy. And I do want to say that if they push it off, the big merge for Ethereum 2.0, it's very likely that we will be in a full-on bear run. So pay attention to the Ethereum Foundation, pay attention to what they're doing and what they have going on, and how Vitalik Buterin is looking. And I'll definitely make another video kind of analyzing, what Vitalik Buterin is saying and speculating on that front, or whatever the case is. But again, just to wrap up this video one more time, Ethereum needs to do something crazy for this market to continue. I don't see any catalyst for this market at all, except for Ethereum. And Ethereum has a specific event, which is called Ethereum 2.0, which is supposed to solve a lot of the problems, but they have a history of pushing it off. If they push it off again, we go into a full-on bear market. If they accept it and actually launch the merge, and they actually, make this happen, then we could have a forever super cycle quantum leap, and there will probably not be that many bear runs or significant bear runs in cryptocurrency. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this, guys. Catch you in the next one.